Yo, 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 what's going on? It's the NRW, where nerds rule the world. It's your boy, Kuya P, aka Patrick Michael Strange. And I'm here with my homie that always levels me up. He's the blurred dad, Glenn Lawrence. What's up, Glenn?
What is cracking? Thanks for having me again. Thanks for having me. I'm always here. Yeah, let's have fun.
Yes, man. So, we've talked about Milestone Comics a lot, man. We're big fans of DC as well. Well, for me personally, man, just growing up with Milestone, man, being like the first big comic line to give us representation, more so with it being African American, but as an Asian American, I felt seen because at least had people of color on there, and they had some Asian characters like Zombie and some other minor characters. But I just loved it, man. With Hardware, with Icon, with Static, probably the most familiar. They had the cartoon Static Shock. Sure. I think a lot of people got familiar with the brand that way. And then with Will Smith having the artwork in his pool house, back there. Right in dead center.
Yeah, that's an Easter egg. I wasn't aware of that Easter egg, but I'm gonna have to
go back and watch them, man. You'll see it.
That would have been yeah. That is super dope. But yeah, man,
it was exciting to see our man from Philly, because I know how y'all Philly cats are. Y'all like your comic books, man. So it was good to see Will repping for the community, man. It was really dope. So already on the channel, man, on the NR I had the pleasure of speaking with a lot of the creators involved with the relaunch that DC is now finally happening. They've planned this relaunch of Milestone quite a few times, to be honest, and a lot of people got excited and they were let down quite a bit. But they're here, they're rocking and rolling. I was able to check out initially on our channel. You can see the Milestone Returns press conference with myself and my buddy Jamal Michelle over at the Nerds of Color. We rapped about the release that was happening there with Dennis Cowan, Reginald Hudlin, a lot of some of the details that they were talking about in the relaunch, and they kind of broke down what was happening with Hardware, Static, everybody. And then not too soon after that, I got invited to do the Static Season 1 press conference, and I invited along Jamal Michelle as well. And who was involved with that? We had Chris Cross, who's and Vita Ayala, who were the new team on that. Nicholas Draper Ivy couldn't make it, but we got to talk to Vita, and we got to talk to Chris Cross. Just again, more of the amazing creators that have been involved with Milestone since the beginning, with the exception of Vita, who has just been an amazing creator over at Marvel, and all the hard work she's doing, and now putting her stamp on Static was just amazing. And then,
did you get any sneak peeks?
We did, and I'm gonna show you. I actually have a treat for you, brother.
Okay,
for the new Hardware stuff. So last week, Brandon Thomas, who is the new writer on the project, along with Dennis Cowan, longtime friend and penciler on the series. They were both available and got the chance to speak with myself, as well as a shout out to Black Nerd Problems, Omar Holman, the Blurred Without Fear, Ernie, Dion Bickham with CBR, that's Comic Book Resources, and a shout out to my buddy Michael, leading the charge over at DC, along with Dennis and Brandon. Got to get some insight on the new Hardware Season 1. And because I know you, brother, are a fan of the products, I wanted to share with you. Jamal couldn't make it, and Jamal wasn't available right now, so I can't share the information with him either. So I'm doing it with my buddy Glenn, the blurred dad.
I appreciate it, because it's like I didn't realize that this was going to even happen today. And you're talking about some of the, like that representation milestone. Like the first time I got to see myself in like, some of these like superhero characters. So
bro,
that's kind of dope, and I appreciate it. You always come through with the nuggets, man. I appreciate you, Kuya P. So let me what we got? What's happening right now?
All right, so here's some of my notes, man. It's kind of like all over the place, but just you can glean some of this information and offline. I'll share some other stuff with you, brother, but I can't put it out to the public right now because not everybody that's watching this signed NDAs and press stuff. And since my man is with press, he and I will talk on the off chance. But I do have some nuggets for everybody that I can't share, and that's what we're gonna do now. Nice. So it was an emotional journey returning back to Hardware, especially for Dennis Cowan, who was the artist on the original title that debuted. Let me make sure I'm getting my dates right. Back in 1993, he co-created Hardware with the amazing Dwayne McDuffie. For me, very personal as well. As many people know, Dwayne passed, but he is forever in our hearts. And for me, as a comics creator, going back to my hosting comic talk type days when I was writing and publishing comic books, when I dropped my first book called Blood of Onyx as a young comics creator. I sent it to Dwayne McDuffie. He gave me a phone call and we conversed back and forth. Actually, even before I put it out there, when I was creating it, Dwayne was taking my calls and my emails.
Wow.
And just kind of coaching me along, giving me feedback. So to have this amazing comics creator who I adored and loved as a kid, enjoying his work with Milestone and all the other Justice League work. Because I don't know if you know, bro, Dwayne McDuffie was like, along with Bruce Timm, the Justice League animated series, the Batman stuff that we know and love. He was the guy that was kind of creating this Bible that gave us, the amazing Justice League animated series that we got. Just everything that was beautiful with that. Dwayne McDuffie, man, if you're not familiar with Dwayne McDuffie, he's an icon and deserves to be discussed more often. But if you're a fan of Milestone, he's very instrumental in that universe. So yeah, man, shout out.
Icon behind icon.
I'm telling you, bro, like he means a lot to me because again, as a young cat, he didn't have to give me that feedback. And he took my calls when I dropped it. He took it there, and I even gave him a dedication in my comic book. There's a dedication in my comic book written to Dwayne, man, because he meant that much to me, man. So it really hurt when he passed, and but he lives on through his work and just the people he touched, man. So shout out to Dwayne. So for going back to Dennis, man, it was stated off the top from Dennis that it was an emotional journey to bring back Hardware, to re-up him for our current time period for this relaunch. Because he was created back in 93. It was a different time period, and now with this relaunch they want to integrate into where things are at now. Technology is different now, so they kind of wanted the times to reflect the character, and so that was stated in there. So yeah, character differences from the time period. From Brandon Thomas, who's the new writer working with Dwayne on this. He didn't know that Dennis was going to draw the title when he first pitched for the project, and if he did, he would have felt a little bit, I don't know, man, which I could understand. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to work on a project and I knew I was going to be working with one of my idols, it would have been like, I would have been kind of, those jitters, like, man, because you want to put your best foot forward, right?
Absolutely.
So shout out to him. Well, shout out to the team not telling him, and then all of a sudden he finds out that he's working with one of his faves. That was very sweet of a story to find out that Brandon, who was influenced by him, man, like we all are, got to work with Dennis. So shout out to Brandon, and so season 1. This was one of my questions I asked. Is how long is this new relaunch series? And it's mirroring very much the Static season 1 series, the Icon series that we're getting. They're all going to be 6 issues. So you're going to get a self-contained 6-issue series that they'll then put together as a trade. So if you don't get all 6 separate issues or you can't find them, don't fret. They'll wrap it all up into a nice little package that you can pick up. But 6 issues is not too bad to digest. You can scoop all of them up.
Relaunch, or is it like a relaunch or reset or a reboot?
It's a relaunch. They're re-upping the characters for today's time period.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
cool.
but which has been a long time coming. Yeah. They've kind of started relaunch and giving them their own ongoing titles here and there, but it never came into fruition. And we're now finally getting that, which is just finally. You know what I'm saying? Why are they putting these amazing people of color characters that we haven't had that representation? We should be changing with the times now. The world is becoming more, accommodating, letting us be seen and represented, and so I'm so happy, as a longtime fan, when we only had that little bit, and now that we're getting back, super exciting. So Omar Holman, one of his questions is what is the feel for this? And I really love the answer that we got back from Brandon. It's going to be kind of an enemy of the state feel. We're going to get the classic origin, because they're not going to stray too far away from the original origin, but they are re-upping it for this time. And so one of the films that inspired him for this was Enemy of the State. And so with Enemy of the State, going back to, we were talking about Will Smith earlier, it was kind of cool to hear him also say that, because who else started Enemy of the State? Will Smith. There's a lot of Philly love in the house, just like I have my boy Glenn with me right now. Philly love.
Full circle.
Full circle. So we're getting an Enemy of the State feel. The story is going to expand out of Dakota, which is, the city that these characters inhabit. They're going to be traveling to certain landmarks around the DC universe. So we'll see some other insight of them, like maybe a Metropolis, maybe Gotham City. I don't know. We didn't get confirmation on that. But we're going to Possibly as well. Exactly. Okay. That's one of the major cities in this, DC universe. They're inhabiting the same universe. So that's going to be really cool to see our Milestone characters interact with the DC Comics characters. I'm excited about that. And one of the big things of note that they said, we're going to finally see Black people in spaces you don't see often. So I love that.
And I wonder what that means. Because I feel like we're everywhere.
I made that special note there because that's what they said. I'm like, okay, we're gonna see some stuff. I can't wait. Dennis said he wants it to be like a movie, a thrill ride. He wants people to like, what happens next? So coming after those comments, okay, I'm saying, my mom this ride right now. Also of note, at the time that we did this press conference last week, Dennis Cowan, shout out to him again. He was voted into the Hall of Fame in the price guide. Overstreet price guide that we all know and love, that big old compendium that tells us the prices of our comic books.
Yeah.
He was put in there in the Hall of Fame, which is voted on every year. So shout out to Dennis Cowan.
What color is the jacket for the Hall of Fame for comic books? What color jacket do you
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, like at the Masters, you get the green one,
right?
Yeah, the green one is for the Masters. I think the yellow one is for football. What do you get for comics?
That's an excellent question. That's what. That's gonna have to be thought of a little bit. We're gonna have to go back.
And if they don't have one, we should start it.
I'm saying, what about that?
What about purple? Because that's like a very like Afrocentric color. You know what I'm saying? Purple jackets where you get the comic
as soon as you said that question, that's the first color I thought of.
There we go.
Maybe it was because you got the purple backdrop in your backdrop.
Right? I know, right? You got,
but that is the first color I thought of. Subliminal messaging right now.
There we go. Hey, reach out. I mean, you got people in the network there, Kuya P.
I'm saying,
reach out and tell them like, hey, y'all got to just start giving out jackets.
I dig that. Not for real. Like, why not? You can do it at conventions and shows. Like, at Baltimore Comic Con, they always have the awards. Why not present? Give a jacket at the awards ceremony.
Hey, give me a little shout out for that credit, or I'll turn in the hardware and be like, Kuya P did give me the credit for the jacket idea.
I know. I ain't gonna be no Alva. I ain't being Alva, bro. Because again, that's what I love, bro. So like again, they're readapting the origin. He's one of the comments I brought up during that, and I'll probably skip this part now that I'm talking about it right now in my notes. Is like when I was a kid, like when they're coming out with hardware. Oh, it's just a black Iron Man. What's he got to say? Like, come on, bro. Think about this.
Yeah.
And even when I was in Dennis, and maybe I'll see that in my notes when I get to it. But like Dennis was like, come on, bro, fuck Iron. Well, he didn't exactly want me to say that, but like F Iron Man, this is Curtis Metcalf. Curtis Metcalf wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth like Tony Stark was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a young man who's just a regular cat who all of a sudden was taken under the wing by this white dude, okay, who, saw his amazing skills, funded him and everything. He created all this amazing stuff, but then like most deceptive old white men sometimes use a brother for their skills, like a lot of sports teams do with these amazing athletes, what I'm saying?
And entertainers, like R&B stars, rappers.
Tell it, brother. You know what I'm saying? They make you all this money and then they use them and then lose them. You know what I'm saying? And Curtis Metcalf.
Oh, but not to just lose them, like unceremoniously be like, you're not even like worthy. I don't know why you even thought you were worthy. That's,
you know what I mean?
Cold-blooded.
So that's what's so dope about hardware. Like he has the brain of Tony Stark, but he doesn't have that silver spoon. Like it's just such a promised character that that's why I'm like so excited that we're getting him back. They did, I'm not too sure how long the run was when Milestone was out there. I don't know if we reached 100 issues of hardware back then. I can't recall too well, but just such promised story. You know what I'm saying? Look how big Iron Man is now, probably even bigger, than, and revered now after Endgame, you know what I'm saying? But just imagine if it was a black man that with that skills and how much even further he could take it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, the thing is, I feel like being such a grounded character will help DC because a lot of their characters, they're they're really fantastical. Like, you couldn't have Guardians of the Galaxy just straight out of the gate. You had to build to it with a grounded character like Iron Man and then move all the way up. It's the same thing in the DC universe. You start grounding the characters with a story like Hardware, like some of these milestone stories. You could really build the DC universe out and really have it relaunched.
Hello, bro. And that's what, hey, well, I don't want to talk too bad about DC because DC is watching this right now. But, hey, you got amazing characters right now that I'm pushing calling.
I'm pushing for the representation. I love what they do.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying we've seen it a lot. So let's see some of these other stories. And then it refreshes some of the things that we want to see from DC because we love DC. Like we all grew up loving DC. There's no hate there. It's just like, hey, I want to see these other characters because I feel like it'll be a more full story if it starts with that type of origin, because then the other thing is you're not even prepared to flip it into like the big extended New 52 and all that stuff, you know what I mean, where you're just like, oh snap, like he's intertwining with all this other stuff that we had. So anyway,
I'm with you. So yeah, man, I can't wait, man. I just think Hardware is such a fascinating, such an amazing character. Just got much more to give, and I'm so excited that he's back. Let's go back through my notes. Much more interested in blowing up the superhero trope and seeing where the pieces land. That was a comment from Brandon Thomas, so that's akin to what we just said. This is for every Black person that had that white friend, cool friend, and then something happened and wanted the portrayal to be very personal. Alva had to be like, I made you. Just again, more commentary into like what the story is going to be like and where they're going to go with it. It's important for that relationship to have full meaning and know who each other is, Alva and Hardware. They're going to tie the origins to current going-ons in the Black community. That was Brandon Thomas's decision. So I think that's amazing, especially with what's going on right now. And it's more relatable, so I love this update and to have that tie into that. Hardware ignoring what he saw while growing up with Alva. Again, just some of the nuggets that we're going to see in this new reboot of the origin. I had the blessing of reading the first issue. You'll see his operating system is very similar to like what we see with quote unquote Iron Man. You hear that person talking back to you. There's a special tie. Here's a nugget just for you guys watching this. The voice of that operating system in Hardware is actually Curtis Metcalf's dad. Because his dad passed, and then he, was with at Alva. But when he created the just like other character created the other character, the system speaking is his dad's voice. I think that's very sweet and very beautiful that he utilizes his dad's voice for the speaking system for his armor. Pretty dope. I love that.
I love it.
And that was Brandon Thomas's intent, especially in the opening pages. He wanted to show Black boy joy, Hardware with his father. So we're getting a little bit of that in its opener. And actually, I think I have some of those pages that I'll show you in a brief second once I get done through some of my notes.
Did you know
What's
a little
up,
bit of trivia?
What you got?
Hardware had a son, and you know his son's name? DK Metcalf from the Seattle Seahawks, because that dude is like a superhero. You're like, that's so stupid, but that guy does look like a superhero.
Nah, and I'm a fan of DK Metcalf because I do like the Seahawks. I am a Niners fan, and you and I've talked about this. My wife is like, how can you like the Niners and like the Seahawks? They got a good squad, man. Russell Wilson's also a badass. Why not?
But
total tangent, guys.
That Metcalf, that's a tangent. I'm sorry, but that Metcalf is also a superhero.
I'm sure Curtis Metcalf would appreciate DK Metcalf. I don't think he'd mind him as his son. I love it. What else? Here we go. Some other notes. Brandon Thomas said the tech has changed. Hardware's armor should reflect the changes in time. The armor will evolve also throughout the series. So we're not going to see the same armor from the first issue to issue 6. Hardware will learn the limits of his intelligence as well. He wants to get back at Alva, but that isn't enough. He wants to show him really developing into a hero and what keeps him in the suit and striving and living as Hardware. What else do we got? So here was my notes from my man Dennis. Curtis Metcalf wasn't handed everything. He didn't have to pull him. He had to pull himself up. He's super smart. He's super Black, super radical Black. the opposite of everything that other character is, and he ain't scared of that other character. So there you go. Professor Young, who's a staple of the series, will be back. We'll see additional history between those characters again. We want to change the face of comics and getting people behind comics. Whether you're Black, Latino, LGBT, that's Milestone's mission. Nothing has changed. That's always been their mission. So that just makes me so happy to hear that, is getting that representation. And that's what Milestone is all about. Brandon Thomas, the writer, he also had his own book called Excellence. I believe it was with Image Comics. He said that his comic Excellence wouldn't have existed without Milestone. So Brandon, again, giving the flowers to Dennis and DC and Milestone for being the gateway for him to getting into the field. People wouldn't understand it if not for Milestone. And one of Dennis's big concerns, and I really feel him on this, and I would say that we as creators of color hope our projects aren't and become. He hopes that this new reiteration, this new relaunch, essentially, which are Black projects right now for him, being a Black creator, creating a Black project, that it's not like a unicorn. And I would definitely agree to that. That we're just not like, that once in a blue moon unicorn. Wouldn't you agree with that, Glenn?
Yeah,
man. We don't want to be, a unicorn, if you will.
It's almost like we want to get to the point where it's not so much routine, but normal to see this character be like, be excited, not because it's like a milestone type thing, quote unquote, no pun intended, but because we're getting to see somebody that we loved, as opposed to we're finally getting this thing that never happens, a Black superhero. We're getting something that we have loved, the character that we have loved, and then it stands on its feet because of that.
Hell yeah. I love that. I love that he pointed that out, man. It's great. And permanence and a foundation is what they're looking for. So that stands hand in hand with that. So I love that they're saying it, and that's the vibe, man. And I've always known that of Dennis, man. He's amazing. He's a legend, y'all. And Brandon, man, you're working with a great one, and you're a legend in yourself, man. You're building your legend status.
So wait, all this great news, when's it dropping, Kuya P?
I don't exactly have that date yet. But I'm getting through my notes. I have a little bit more, and then I want to show you some artwork. Okay. Dennis is constantly striving to do his best. He never felt that any project was his best, and but he's going to put what do we have here? Never felt after the project that he's done his best. It's difficult for him to ever say that his last work was his best, but he continues to put and have more foot to ass moments in the future. There's a whole riff on that where all of us were like laughing and talking and just. Dennis was like, you want foot to ass? I'm gonna give you foot to ass. I'm like, okay, let's get it. That was really awesome. For Brandon, going back to him, he's really confident in this first issue. He believes he put his foot in it. So he put foot to ass with this first issue. He's concerned if people will feel it. He's very happy with the parakeet monologue, which I don't know if that's in some of the stuff I'm going to show you, but stay tuned for that. And especially when you read it, he's very proud for inputting that part back into the script because it was done in the first run. It's very emotionally important to him. Without that story, that metaphor, it isn't hardware. So he is very proud to have put that in there. Brandon's one of his favorite pages is of issue 1 is page 18. So when you get to that, check out page 18. And also of note that we got from the DC people, my buddy Michael over there, Chuck Brown, who's working on Bitter Root with Image Comics with my boy David Walker and Sanford Green, is coming to DC to do a prequel on Black Manta that we know over with Aquaman. So stay tuned for Black Manta with Chuck Brown. And Brandon Thomas, the writer on Hardware, is also going to be dropping an Aquaman series as well. So there you go. Those are all my notes from the Hardware season 1 press conference, brother. But nice. I do have some amazing artwork to show you. Ready to see some cool shit?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Check it out. This is one of the variant covers. You can see it right there, man. What do you think? I'm not sure who the artist is. I don't have my notes ready at the moment, but kind of a take off of one of the initial from the covers when they first launched. It's kind of like a backward angle. It's a different angle of what it did, but they did a classic black and white cover. And so that's kind of
like he's twisted around. Okay.
Yeah. I like that.
No, it's what you call it. It's like a throwback. It reminds me of like the old school Disney
Yeah, because it's very stylized. It's different.
Yeah, very stylized.
Yeah.
I dig. There's a lot going on, so I'm trying to figure out, all the all the pieces. I see nuts and bolts in the background, and what's he connected to. It looks like he's underwater. So
yeah, it kind of has that feel. There's like because of the bubbles and everything.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
bubbles
I don't know.
and everything. So it's like, what's going on there? Interesting. I like it. Do we got another one?
And here's another one. Again, I apologize. I don't have the artist names at the ready to break it down. This one is pretty dope, and actually, that's what I'm utilizing as my background right now. I love it, and it has kind of like the old dressing that if you remember when all the Milestone launch titles came out, they kind of had very similar dressing with the logos on upper left hand corner, the logo. I love it, and just the artwork, the painted style of this is so beautiful to me.
I love it because it's like if you notice the wires and the cables, how they're drooping down, they kind of resemble dreads, which is a very Afrocentric type thing. I love what it's doing, and also the colors that they have in there, a lot of purples, yellows,
exactly.
I'm digging this.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. Very Afrofuturism in its conjunction. I love that. Yes. This is actually done by Dennis Cowan. I love this one right here. So this is Dennis actually throwing it down for one of the covers.
Oh wow, powerful stuff. What does he got? He's got like rocket thrusters on his shoulders, bro.
Oh yeah. Some cannons going on. Got some of his signature weapons going on there. I really dig that, man. Dennis's style is so dope, man. It's always exciting. Here we have some actual pages. I believe this is page 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Page 1, here you go. You can check it out. Some of that Black Boy joy. There he is, a young Curtis Metcalf with his dad at a rally. It's actually the Big Bang. If you're familiar with how these characters all got their superpowers, you see that Curtis Metcalf was in attendance at this rally that starts the Big Bang. And again, they're tying it to a lot of the movements and the rallies of Black Lives Matter, all of that's occurring in our times right now. You love to see it. So it's just you right there at the beginning, you see Curtis's eyes, and then on top of his dad. That's really sweet. And just talking about what's going down. Here we go. Page 2.
We see
learning more
eyes.
An updated version of what's going down.
That's supposed to be happy in those eyes. I thought it was pain.
So we see him. Well, it was with his dad back in the day, and now we see him grown up. At another rally, seeing what's going on with the Bing Bang. So actually, I confused the two. There he was with his dad at a rally. What not BLM might have been that, but here at the Big Bang rally when they actually get their powers in the new relaunch. So good stuff right there, man. Just more amazing work, and just I love the colors and style that's going on there. And you can see a good blend of Dennis's work because Dennis is on the art chores, and Bill Sienkiewicz. Who is one of the most amazing, also legendary artists as well in the business, working alongside Dennis and I think Chris Sotomayor on colors. And I really love this page 3 right here. This is classic hardware right here. This is the character right here. Again, we see eyes to eyes to eyes from young man to Eric Metcalf himself, and now we're getting hardware right here. Fucking love this page. This is beautiful. What do you think, brother?
I did. I'm going through it right now.
I know you want to read it. Mm-hmm. We'll get on that at another time.
I like that.
Let you check it out. Here, page 4. Again, more of him coming in power. The other people discovering him. I don't want to be on these too long because I know people. We're giving you sneak peeks. You can read it when it drops. Boom. This is page 5. They've found Curtis Metcalf where he's been hiding out. And then here we go. Him coming off with his boosters, going off at some of these helicopters coming at him. Just amazing. This is a thrill ride. And that's what Dennis was going for. It's like a movie playing out. I love it.
It looks great.
And I think, that's it. That's some of the artwork that I can show. That I can. But
you just wet my whistle, and I like it. You did come through with the nuggets. I was hoping for the nuggets. You hit me up and was like, "Yo, I got a secret. You're really gonna like it," and I appreciate it. I feel like it's my birthday. I mean, it's close to my birthday, and this is nice, man. It's nice to see it all kind of come back. It gets me excited for the future, figuring out what other which other things are gonna like kind of be introduced into the universe. How much is it gonna borrow from the the old school character with this relaunch, like how different or how similar it's going to be, how are they going to change different things. I'm excited for all of it to see what's going on, and of course the artwork looked amazing. So yes, thank you, Kuya P. This is dope, bro. I'm excited. I need to know that release date though, bro.
All right, and I have it for you, and I can't believe I didn't realize this. So when you guys see this, you'll be actually seeing it on the day it comes out, which is today. We're recording this on a Tuesday, August 10th. It comes out August 11th tomorrow, which is going to be the day I'm dropping this video. It's out now, people. You're watching this video. You're hopefully you went and picked it up. But if you didn't pick it up and you're watching this now on the channel, you're going to want to stop this, pause, head over to your LCS, pick up the comic. It's in stores now. Or you can pause this video, head over to Comixology and download it to your Comixology, watch it on the Comixology app or read it on the Comixology app and enjoy the return of Hardware Season 1, Issue 1, out now in stores. Yeah. Man, I'm so sorry, y'all. I should have said that at the beginning, but I've been so busy and just amazed by all this. But bro, as of now, so when you're done with this, when you actually watch this video back after doing this,
we're going to have a talk. Oh, we got to talk about those other extra nuggets that you said that
we're gonna give you. So we're gonna take that offline right now.
Yeah.
But there you go. There is my coverage. Again, shout out to DC Comics and Michael Schelling and his team. Thank you, Brandon Thomas. Thank you, legendary Dennis Cowan, and the rest of the other outlets that we all rocked it together, having a fun time talking about all things hardware. Can't wait to see how the rest of this is gonna turn out, man. But just a lot of fun. There you go. There's our coverage. Glenn, how can they find you online and reach out to you and talk about comics? Because they read it as well.
levelupcomedy.com, Glenn at Level Up Comedy. If you want to email me, Level Up Comedy through all your socials. Glenn Lawrence Laughs, Glenn Lawrence Comedy on Facebook, IG, Twitter. That's about it. Of course, Blurred Dad Podcast. We dropped 2 episodes this week. So if you're trying to catch up, we're keep putting them out. So it's harder for you to catch up. So you got to start listening so you could be up to date on everything the Blurred Dad is talking about. So that's me. There
you go. Your boy Kuya P. You can follow me at Strange Since 1977, as well as at Temple Far East, and over on TikTok at the legend Kuya P. The others were my Twitter and IG. Also over at the Nerds of Color, where we give you pop culture from the POC perspective, and of course my Philippine X show, and of course over here with my buddy Glenn Lawrence, leveling you up every week with the NRW and everything that we're doing. Make sure you follow us at the NRW and at New Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Again, thank you, DC, Milestone, Michael, Dennis, Brandon. There's your Hardware Season 1 press conference wrap up. Let us know what you think about the issue in our comments. Make sure you go pick it up at your LCS and keep on buying more and tell everybody, because I want more hardware, people. It's about time. Curtis Metcalf is a bad motherfucker. A hell of a lot better than Tony Stark. I love Tony Stark, but Curtis Metcalf deserves his time in the sun. Let's put it. Let's speak happy,
y'all. He's his own person. He stands on his own too.
Yes, sir. We're out of here.